Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a Lego set, and I'm also here to hang out with all of you. I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker, just go ahead and lurk. It's all right. It's Thursday. I'm going to take a sip of water. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. As I said, it is a Thursday evening, and the plan for tonight is to work on the Lego Dreams Cooper's Gaming Controller Jet. That's right. Lego Dreams, they go inside their dreams. They do things and things. I'm going to sneeze, maybe? Huh? Huh? I can feel it, but I'm not. I don't know. Sorry. It felt like it was going to happen, and I was getting ready to mute and to sneeze, and then just nope, no, not at all. Okay. Sounds good. Lego Dreams, it's like a fantasy world that they're dreaming, and I don't, this is Cooper. I don't know about Cooper. Cooper's got a chainsaw gun, so that's pretty good, and has a jet that looks like it would be a controller. Turned into a jet, and I can go with two different ways. It's not like a 3-in-1 where you can build it and then disassemble and then build it again. At some point, we're supposed to pick our destiny about how it should be built, and then if we want, we could build it a different way. I don't know. We'll get to that when we get to that. We did a little bit of it. Let's go to the overhead camera. I did a little bit of this on Monday. I got some of this assembled here, and I'm working on this part here. There's Cooper doing their thing right over there. So yeah, I don't know exactly what we're gonna find, but we'll get to some building here and get into it. Might be a chill stream tonight. Who knows? Currently at 28 subscribers. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up about how many subscribers I have when I hit 40. But yeah, we'll do some assembly here of some Lego and hang out, and it'll be a fun Thursday. Hopefully a few more friends decide to join us tonight. If not, it happens. It's not the end of the world. I'd like people to be here. That would be nice. I don't have anything particularly like shocking or exciting going on in May. It's kind of like the calm before the storm, because in June is the Plastic Model Weekender. And then also in June is my birthday subathon. So we'll do the big birthday stream. When am I going to do that? I think the 21st, I want to say. I'm going to do that on the 20th. Save the date. Friday, June 20th. I'm going to do that and then not do a stream on the 21st. And then stream on my actual birthday on the 23rd. But the subathon will be on the 20th. And you're like, Pat, why not do the subathon on your actual birthday? Well, hey, Lord Crashington, the main reason is because I won't be model kit building on my birthday or Lego assembling on my birthday. I'll be doing a few things and hanging out. And then, I'm doing it on a Friday and starting in the afternoon because the stream will go several hours. And it will be fun and a good time. And, it's just kind of a different thing. And then on my actual birthday, I will just have a building stream. It'll be like my building birthday stream. That'll be June. So June 20th, the subathon. June 23rd, my actual birthday stream. And I don't know. As far as what I'm going to do on the birthday thing, I'll be honest, I haven't really planned it. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do on that stream. I know that I am going to bring back the thing we didn't do at the last birthday subathon. Or we never got into it. We've never done Monster Energy drink and milk combined together. Tear apart some built gunpla, says Lord Crashington. I mean, I guess I could. Actually and factually, Lord Crashington, a little bit of destruction is going to be, I'll talk about this now because it's fine. My plans for the Plastic Model Weekender is I am going to do a roulette of additions or subtractions to model kits. It is going to be the customization roulette. And so I will hit a random number generator, 1 through 5 or 6, whatever I pick. And then that will be something that I do to a model kit. And if $50 are raised, for every $50 raised during my 2 hours, I will, the kit I'm working on, I'll roll another dice. And then if I finish doing that, I'll move on to the next kit. Or if I think, well, I've done 4 things in this kit, I'm going to move on. But the idea is every kit will get one thing. And some of them will be positive. And some of them will be silly. And some of them will be destructive. Like maybe like battle damage is one of them. It'll be like fun things like covering in glitter paint or adding decals that don't belong on that kit. Because I have some decal sheets. I said shits there for a second. I did not mean to say that. I have decal sheets that I will be using that have nothing to do with the model kits, but look cool. And so I'll be like putting on some decals or something, some water slides. But then, yeah, battle damage is one of them. I have a bunch of like accessories, and so I might give them better guns or different guns or shields or something like that. Just kind of play around with that. Maybe use liquid cement to adhere something weird to a kit and get strange with it. And that is the plan. I got recommended to me is like you should use like an X-Acto blade to add in random panel lines, then panel line. I was like, ooh, that's kind of fun. And I think that doesn't like scoring doesn't sound like battle damage, but it's a little similar to battle damage. Oh, this is like one of the jet engine parts or the handles of the controller or part of the jet, as it were. So that's fun. But yeah, that is the plan for Plamo, for Plastic Model Weekender, is to get a little silly with it. Okay, that goes like this then. Okay, goes like that. Got it. And some of the kits I'll have worked on this year will be kits that I'll be augmenting, including a couple that say it this way. Yeah, so it goes like this then. All right, that goes like that. And then I put on another one of these bracer brackets here. That's really interesting. This is designed. This is fun. It's a fun design. Okay. And now we got to build this thing, but for the other side. So we'll do that now. Put that over there. I think that's what we're doing now. Yeah. Well, I'll find out. I need one of these. I still have another bag of Lego here. I don't think we're going to finish this set tonight, but we'll definitely be finishing it on Saturday. So I will have a poll tomorrow for my $10 patrons about what I work on next, because I think I'm going to finish this up during the stream on Saturday. I might finish it by the end of tonight. I don't know. I mean, we have to know the pieces and all that, but it's possible that this will be a quick build. It could happen. Yeah, as far as my birthday stream, I mean, I'm going to have old commercials, like old video game related commercials to play, as I'm eating my dinner or whatever. That's always a thing. There'll be some kind of gaming, hopefully silly or fun gaming. There will be probably some WW2K25 matches, but of course I'll be actually, you know what it is? It's I think I'm going to do, I haven't made myself in WW2K25, so I'll probably do that. And that's low maintenance enough that it shouldn't freeze. It seems like between my computer, OBS, and the game, sometimes loading the game causes a freeze. So it should be okay if I am just making a character. Loading up a match seems to fuck that up. So that's probably something we'll do. Probably do that. I think I might do... So I've done karaoke before, and I enjoy that. I might do like a sing-along, because I was talking about this where I've been thinking about, in speaking about the anime Bleach, I was thinking about how, number one, Ichigo's theme is so fucking good, and it is really fucking good, that I was like, I kind of want to sing that song again. So I might do like a nerdy sing-along of just songs that don't have karaoke versions of them out there, and do some like anime stuff, and maybe do some like wrestling themes or whatever. Just something silly. And I also have, because I have them from the charity stream of the last year, and I didn't do all of them. I still have wrestling promos that I can read out. So that'll be a like donation unlock, not donation unlock, but like I hit a certain number of subscribers, and then there is the Pat cuts some promos. I think I'll just do that as like one segment, something like that, because that was very fun. I enjoyed doing that in my charity stream, so I would like to do that again, because that was a good time. And I have some that we didn't do, so I think I'll do a selection of wrestling promos for my my subathon as a goal. But yeah, I got to figure out some gaming stuff to do on there as well. I might be getting a code for a video game at the end of this month. Still waiting to hear if that is going to happen or not. I have not gotten any codes for things in a bit, so it'll be nice. But I know that next week's stream, or next Tuesday's bonus stream, will be Hearthstone, because the mini set came out. And so there's a couple, some cards that have made some interesting decks out of that. There's a Hunter deck that fucking sucks to play against, and I feel like before Tuesday, that deck is going to get patched, so I don't really have to worry about it. But there are a few other decks that are fun. I've got a standard deck that I'm really enjoying that brings out a bunch of annoying dragons and brings back those annoying dragons. So like your opponent, my opponent would think that they got rid of the dragon that I had made, and then no, actually no, because now that dragon's back and they have to deal with it again. Oh, and there's 2 dragons now. Sorry. So that's next Tuesday. And then the following Tuesday, I have a plan. Also, there's going to be the update to Nubby's Number Factory. I just don't know when we're getting that update. So I do plan to play it just because I like that game. But if... and then the plan is to save the next stream of WW2K25. I might save it and just run a bunch of matches on my birthday stream, because I think that would be easy to do, because I would have run them all ahead of time. So I think that's what I might do. I should also see how many, if that's not a 5. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Great. It's July is a 5 Tuesday month. The 5 Tuesday months get me, and they throw me off and like really mess me up, because I'm just like, oh nope, I need an extra thing. Although maybe by the 5th, that should be where, is that where an anime is over? Hold on, sorry, I'm contradicting myself and being all confused. Let me check. Let me really quickly check Annie chart here. Let me look at Annie chart. Summer 2025 starts in July. Okay, but that starts in the beginning of July. Does it? Oh. Okay, well, now I know what I'm doing at the end of June. I know what I'm doing the last week of June. That's Pat Bear's Anime Club live, so that's good to know. Because, yeah, the next week, new anime starts. So, hold on. If this is the 19th, the 12th was this episode. It came out this week. The 26th is the next one there. And then the 9th. And then 23rd. And then, okay. So either I do it a week late or I do it a week early. The 17th. And then have it out on the 23rd. Yeah. All right. Well, that's annoying. It's one of those weeks. So I could record it on the 1st when new shows have started and have it come out a week late, or do it Okay. This is a fun thing that I get to do, folks, which is, as you know, Pat Bear's Anime Club comes out every other Monday. And when I do Pat Bear's Anime Club live, it's a Tuesday stream. So it has to be the Tuesday before when I would put one up, and it would be, the next week's episode. And when I do Pat Bear's Anime Club live, the end of the season, beginning of the next season, often it is like right towards the end. And in this case, it'll be like not really right towards the end. It'll be more like there's some time left. And so I have to figure that out. But that is a future Pat Bear problem that I'm going to write down on here and be like, when live, question mark. I don't know. But yeah, that is not a thing y'all have to worry about. That's just me remembering that July has anime. Yeah, because if I did it on the 1st, which is when the new season is starting, then I wouldn't be able to finish it. That would start too late, so. It is a thing I have to think about. I guess what's going to happen is I will do it, and there'll still be some of the month, some of the shows left. There's always a little bit of a thing where some of the shows end and some of them are still happening, but I feel confident enough. I mean, it's such a good season of anime that we're in right now that I think it'll be okay for me to be like, oh yeah. All right, so this is where we're getting like some parts of this that look kind of like a controller because of the start and select button, and then we're going to be building what are supposed to be part of the jets, but also could be thumbsticks if you really want to think about it like that, or pads. It's a fun idea. I like it. Get one there. We'll get one there. When I saw this was out, I was like, I've liked the Lego Dreams kits because they're pretty inventive and pretty fun, pretty silly. So I was like, all right, this looks like something I want to make. It was an easy purchase, as it were. And then gotta go like this, connect them like that. All right. So I am going to tell y'all a story. I'm going to paint you a tale. Now, you may know the end of this story, and if you do, that's cool. Please understand that I know the end of the story. I know this tale. A Discovery Aftermath did the research. They did the reporting. They figured out a E3 related mystery, an E3 mystery. It's not. It's a Summer Game Fest mystery. But a mystery was unraveled and unveiled, and I'm going to tell you the tale of SummerGamesFest.com, a URL that has a typo in it because it's Summer Game Fest. But please remember, this is Summer Games Fest spelled wrong. Not associated with Jeff Keighley. We knew that. We knew that going in. This is not a Jeff Keighley thing. This is just somebody bought that domain when they announced it, and it's redirected to a bunch of stuff. For like 5 years, we didn't know who had it. Oh, I got to put the top part of this. Sorry. We didn't know who was behind it because it didn't just redirect to like a Jeff Keighley website. Right now, it redirects to a NeoCities page that talks about how to support Polygon, the people that worked at Polygon that are now unemployed, how to support them. And so that thing is, and then also, that site is a comic illustrator who used to really enjoy the work at Polygon made that site, but doesn't own SummerGamesFest.com. That's somebody else owns that. This is just a redirect. But there's been a lot of redirects over the years. There was a whole thing where they made it seem like the folks at Giant Bomb had it, but that wasn't. Let's see. For a while there, so usually what it is because people type in SummerGamesFest.com by mistake in June. So usually every June, this person redirects to something. Last year, it was a donation page to the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine refugees. And that has been the whole summer. Last year was that. In September, it redirected to a Blue Sky post from Epic Games Senior Trust and Safety Investigations Manager. That's a long title. But yeah, an Epic Games employee named Bruce Napick that read, "Bet you thought I was joking." And that just seemed unrelated to anything else, but for a while there, it linked to one Blue Sky post, and people were like, "Wait, is this it? Is this the person?" And the answer is yes. A guy who works at Epic Games, when he heard about Summer Games Fest, bought the domain Summer Games Fest, it seemingly just to fuck around, which, hell yeah, dude. If I remember correctly, I linked to that post as an accompaniment to a bulletin point of webmaster of summergamesfest.com on an introduce yourself to the team presentation at work. But yeah, that's me. So the big reveal was this dude kind of revealed it just in September of last year. So he got the URL in 2020, about an hour after Keighley went live with the name of his show. And he says, "At the time, I was on a spree of registering goofy domains, and it just happened I was prescient enough to think the name of the event should maybe be games." So he thought maybe he was like, "Oh, this will be funny," but also maybe Keighley's gonna change the name, and then I'll have the domain and other people won't, you know. So apparently, yeah, he did a little thing with Giant Bomb last year, and mostly he's just been kind of like sending people to places and doing all that, and he thought it was very fun. And also he said, this is fun. He's like, if approached with a reasonable offer, he would sell it to Jeff Keighley, which is just like, to me, like, yeah, dude, don't give it away. Like, you should make something, make it something. And then he says, he would at least consider selling it to someone else. I'd probably never sell it to anyone but Jeff. But who knows what I'd say if a dipshit loser offered me $44 billion to let him kill it and use its corpse for fascist ventriloquism. So I'll say this. I like Bruce. I like Bruce being in this in this interview I am doing with you, Aftermath. I will take this opportunity to talk shit about Elon Musk. Please and thank you. I appreciate that. All right, so we have to put the stickers we just put on to other side, because this thing goes both ways. So we got to do it again, which is fun and fine. Let's see. What's in? Oh yeah, and then he goes on to explain like some of the weird images that used to be at Summer Games Fest. At one point, there was a photo of a hot dog and a taco shell, and some like puffs. Oh, apparently, sorry, it's a beater with cheese sausage. It was not a hot dog; it was a sausage. Apparently, he just put up some old photos that he had. But yeah, so the mystery has been solved. A guy at Epic did this. It's a guy at Epic. He's been doing this whole time. He owns summergamesfest.com. And I appreciate that the redirect right now is to a blog about ways you can support the folks at Polygon. That's real nice. That's just good stuff right there. All right, so now we have to build the buttons again. We built the buttons before. Now we got to build them again. But this time, nothing. They're the same. There's nothing different about them. So yeah, thank you, Riley at Aftermath, for doing the legwork, for going, hey, wait, I bet that's him. I don't follow, I didn't pay attention to it, but apparently, yeah. you know, kind of let the cat out of the bag, and that's fine. There's some negative gaming stuff that we'll talk about here, but let's start with a positive thing. If you have PlayStation Plus, there are 12 games coming to the service, although one of those 12 games is the Stalker trilogy. So it's really like 12 games. So PlayStation Plus Premium is getting Battle Engine Aquila. I don't know anything about that game, but I hope it's great. And then Plus Extra and Premium. So that was just the Premium, but Plus Extra is all, and Premium are getting Soul Hackers 2, Sandlands, the game based on the anime of the same name, Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted Full-Time Edition, which is coming to PS4 and PS5, Battlefield 5, Stalker Legends of the Zone Trilogy, so that's all the three there, and then Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, Humankind, Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life, and Gloomhaven, Mercenaries Edition. Gloomhaven rules, so that's fun. And yeah, I don't know a lot about all those games, but that's pretty fun. Let's see. Oh yeah, there. Stalker games being on the PlayStation Plus catalog's pretty good. That's fun. So yeah, if you got that and you're looking for some games, a few new games are coming. That's fun. Here's some fucking bullshit. So I never got into the Marathon Alpha, but one of my friends in my multiplayer crew did get into that. I thought you were going to talk about Cookie Clicker coming to consoles. No, Lord Ashton, that's not on my news list. But yeah, so there is I didn't get into the alpha, but some photos and videos and stuff did get out of that alpha, and one of those and some of those photos and videos revealed that there is some art in there, background art, some visuals that was 100% very much clearly stolen from Jeremy Skoog. Let's see. The Marathon Alpha released recently, and its environments are covered with assets lifted from poster designs I made in 2017. This is from Antire.ai. AL, I should be clear, .al. Two images of work where they appear in Marathon's gameplay included a rotated version of her own logo. So here's the thing, right? You can be like, well, this art is similar and whatever, and inspiration. Her logo's in the fucking game. Like, come the fuck on. Bungie is, of course, not obligated to hire me when making a game that draws overwhelmingly from the same design language I've refined for the last decade, but clearly my work was good enough to pillage for ideas and plaster all over their game without paying or attribution. I don't have the resources nor the energy to spare to pursue this legally, but I have lost count of the number of times a major company has deemed it easier to pay a designer to imitate or steal my work than to write me an email. Also, some of her art appears in the press kits and their website. And that's fucking fun. Now, is it possible that the art that was stolen was from a third-party person who sold the art and then sold it to Bungie and they didn't know? Was it an employee of Bungie? We don't know these answers. But it fucking sucks. It just sucks shit. It just really fucking sucks. It could have been placeholder assets. They could have been using like vibes-based placeholders. You know, that happens a lot in when the art isn't ready, but they need to have presentations for people that have money and who are like, what work are we doing here? And so it could have been someone did a Google search for art and did that as placeholders, and then those placeholders never got replaced with real art. That has happened before, unfortunately. That is a possibility. And then someone that got, you know, an outsourcing person or someone within Bungie could have just been like, what if I just Googled some art and put it in the game? Which seems really stupid, but it's also happened before. Bungie has not responded to Kotaku's request for in 2023 and 2024, fan art was used in the game without payment or attribution and anything like that. And then of course mentioned that Final Descendant also stole art from Bungie as well. It occasionally goes both ways. And she wrote, in 10 years, I have never made a consistent income from this work, and I am tired of designers from huge companies mood boarding and parasizing my designs while I struggle to make a living. It just sucks. Yes, Lashbrook. A fun follow-up message on that is that they were also able to identify it as their art because there's an old tweet where they said, I added lossless to this, to the recent project, and no one has noticed. And then a person found the lossless in there. Somebody else found it and was just like, oh, it's this. Which was, yes, unfortunately, hilarious and shit. Wow. These bots are really doing these, like, best views on nonsense shit. I'm getting last couple streams have had a lot of spammers, but getting caught. Luckily, spammers getting caught, but still, lots of spammers coming through. It just really fucking sucks, and I hope that there's an investigation on it. I hope that they are contacted and they make good on this shit. It just fucking sucks. It's just shitty and it sucks. And Bungie, Bungie is now a Sony, company, or, a Sony studio. So, like, there's a lot of people that can just say, like a lot of these times, if it was done maliciously, it is done because what are you going to do about it? And if it was not done maliciously, then there's always a real sense of people just being like, oh yeah, I didn't know. We'll send him a fucking jacket, some a marathon jacket, just to kind of like, oh, it's like treated like it's not a big deal, like it's not someone's fucking, work that they did, you have nothing to do with, and now you're making money with it. It's gross. I don't like, hey, weirdly enough, not a fan of it. Let's see. In other PlayStation news, we're doing the PlayStation Roundup right now. So Jade Raymond is out at Haven, and the game that Haven has been making is delayed. Fair Games, which has a dollar sign instead of an S because it's fucking cool. Fair Games, a live service shooter, is going to be delayed here, and apparently there had been an external test that everybody was freaked out about it not being great, and then also Jade Raymond left. Now Jade Raymond started Haven. and then yes, she started Haven, and then in 2022, Sony acquired the company, and Haven was started based on a lot of people who were who were internal developers for Stadia. Google laid off all their internal teams, and then from the ashes of that, they made Haven, and they were working on this game. They were working on it for a while, and then it looked like Sony was going to help with publishing, and then Sony acquired them. And then they've been working on this game, and now they're not anymore. And Jade Raymond is leaving. I am missing a piece, friends. There is a piece of this here. There should be 4 of these, and I don't have one of them, so... Now I get to do the thing where I just kind of look everywhere to see if I could find it. I'm going to look underneath the mat here. Nope, not underneath the mat. That's not great. Is it over here? It's not over here. Well, that's frustrating. Well, hopefully I'll find it. But right now, it could still be in bag 1. So let me get up and look for it over here. Get up over here. Nope, nothing in there. All right, well, that's not great. I will keep my eyes peeled for the 4th one of these because I don't have it, and that is frustrating. I'm gonna say that is a frustrating thing. That's on me. I lost it somewhere. You know, Lego doesn't miss out. They don't like shortchange you. So I don't know where that ended up, but it did go somewhere. Oh, okay. I know why. I'm not supposed to put 2 there. That's why. It's got different things. All right, there you go. Okay. The reason why I couldn't find a 4th one is because that's not how this gets built. These have like front legs and back legs, and they are different from one another. So the reason why I couldn't find it is because it probably just gave me 1 extra, which is nice, not 2 extra, which makes sense. Okay, there we go. That feels good for that. But yeah, so they had a nice thing to say about Jade Raymond, but she is out, and apparently the game has been in development since they started the studio, and they put studio heads in there to see what's going on. I would say the fact that they're like gonna delay it instead of just outright canceling it is nice because it means that some developers get to keep working on a game. That's good, but also kind of surprising why they wouldn't just cut their losses, because it's not like a live service game coming out next year is somehow going to be better than a live service game coming out this year or at all. But, you know, like, hey, it seems like other people aren't getting laid off. It's just that one person left. But I wonder, this is not a slight on her. But I'm just interested in, let's see. Let's look at Jade Raymond. Games here. Let's see. So she's a programmer for Sony, and she worked on the Sony Online's research and development group. Then she went to EA, and she was a producer on Sims Online. Okay. She was a part-time correspondent on the Electric Playground for G4. I knew that. And then she went to Ubisoft Montreal, and she led. Okay, she was on the lead. She was the lead on the first Assassin's Creed. That's when people started to know who she was because of that. And then she was executive producer on the second one, and then she was an executive producer on Watch Dogs. And the Mighty Quest for Epic Loot, which I don't remember. She built Ubisoft Toronto, then left that, and then she went to EA and formed Motive Studios. And then she was also in charge of Visceral Games. And she worked on Star Wars games and a new IP. And she's been in some other places. And then she left Motive. And then she joined Google as vice president to work on Stadia. And then in 2021, she founded Haven Studios. So yeah, okay. So the big thing is, executive producer for Star Wars Battlefront 2. She was the general manager for that. Okay. She has worked on some games. I didn't want to make it sound like she hasn't. I would say executive producer on a bunch of Assassin's Creed stuff is probably why she has become such a known name, and also working on Star Wars stuff, which was apparently a little fraught. But yeah, it's that thing of just like Jade Raymond is as a name I certainly know, but I wasn't like super familiar with what she had been up to. But it does feel like that's a person that like runs a thing and then gets out of there, and I got no problems with that. You do not have to stay at places, especially if you are working for big companies or you're working on a small studio that gets bought. You can, and of course probably has a say in if it's getting bought or not, but yeah, I think you can. I think you can fucking bail when you gotta fucking bail, and more people should do that. But who knows what's next for Jade Raymond? Hopefully not another Stadia. All right, so we got a fucking spider brain thing here. This is a creepy motherfucker that we're building right here. Get this spider brain together. I hate this thing. I hate this thing a lot. This ain't great. A weird spider brain thing like this. Then I gotta put together some fucking tentacles, I guess. Jesus. And here. Yep. Fucking creepy, weird thing that we're building here. Nightmare fuel. Speaking of canceled games or delayed games, in this case, canceled. There was going to be a Kingdom Hearts spin-off that is no longer happening. Kingdom Hearts Missing Link, which has apparently been in some form of development off and on for 6 years. And the reason they said that they're not doing it is quality over quantity, which is very funny because they worked on it for 6 years. Who knows how many years of that was active development or not, but so weird. Also, I can tell you maybe one of the reasons why they're letting it go is that it was a mobile game. It was a mobile game based on a GPS-based RPG that was supposed to come out in 2024, which would still be wild, but also was developed as a Pokemon Go knockoff, which they didn't end up doing. They didn't make it, but they were gonna make it. We determined it would be difficult for us to offer a service that players would find satisfactory over a long period of time, leading us to the decision to cancel development. Again, 6 fucking years. It's still all in on Kingdom Hearts 4. It plans to choosier about what it greenlights going forward. And of course, also utilizing AI, because fuck them. Of course they are. But yeah, it's wild that they canceled it over a year after they were going to do it. But also it's wild that they were going to make a mobile RPG like Pokemon Go. I want to say that was like pre-smartphone Kingdom Hearts phone game. Yes, there was a Kingdom Hearts phone game at some point. All right, so here's the deal. We have 2 things we can do here. We're going to take this and we're going to make a jet. Or we can take this and attach it to the second bag, which is a helicopter. So we can do one of 2 things. We can make the jet or the helicopter. We are making the jet Once we're done, I'm gonna see how hard it is to take it apart. Because if we take it apart, like either way, it's easy enough. Like the next thing we're making here, we can take it apart to get back to this, and then build the other thing. I don't know if I'm going to, but we can. They don't really want that. They want me to make the decision. Am I going to build? Am I going to go to page 50, which is this page, and build the jet, or am I going to go to page 94 and build? Yeah, and build out the other thing. So I think I'm going to build the jet and then decide if I want to take it apart and build the helicopter. But I think I want to build a jet because that seems like the thing, because it's called gaming controller jet. So I don't know. But we're going to open the second bag. I'm going to do it over here so we don't hear the sound of me opening plastic. And we do need to knoll, everybody. We got to knoll. We got to knoll. We got to take this apart here. Make sure there's nothing missing. Back there. We do that. Ooh, we got some cool effects parts. Put those over there. Put that there. We got another cool effect part. Put it over there. So yeah, we'll do the jet, and then I guess I'll make the decision if I want to try to take it apart to the back thing and then build it out again. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. It might be a pain in the ass to like deconstruct it enough to do the other thing. Because it's not a 2-in-1 or a 3-in-1. All right, we'll put that there. We'll put some gray around here. So right now I'm just going to be knolling while I look at other things we can chat about here. And the last thing we've got is Ubisoft is delaying a bunch of video games. It's pushing back Far Cry 7, Assassin's Creed Hex, but with an E at the end. Hexy? I don't know. Hex. And the next Ghost Recon are all delayed. Let's see. These were some games that were supposed to come out the second half of this year, or the tail end of this year, and then into the next year. Let's see. So I should stress, they said sequels and games and franchises. They didn't name them by name. I should have said that before I started naming the ones that are going to be delayed. These are assumptions being made here that it would be the next Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, and Tom Clancy, because they were supposed. It's been 4 years since Far Cry 6, so you'd expect 7 to be coming out pretty soon, because it's never been officially announced. They did tease that the next Assassin's Creed game was that, so this is not me making a wild claim here, but that, you know, if they're delaying their major franchises, it would be that. Lots of other projects at Ubi remain up in the air, including a Splinter Cell remake, and of course, if we're going to talk about Ubisoft, we do have to at least give some lip service to the idea that maybe someday Beyond Good and Evil 2 will come out, despite the fact that I don't think that's ever going to happen. They, on occasion, will say that's still a game that we're working on, even though the creator of that game has not worked there for many years, and there's just no way. It took me a while to remember 6 was the one with Giancarlo Esposito. Yes. That is true. That is that one. Never played it, but that is that one. Ooh, this neon yellow is sharp. Very sharp. Let's see. Okay. We did get some sense of what's next in the publisher's pipeline today. Anno 117, Pax Romana. That's all one game. Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time remake, which feels like a good game to remake if you're going to be remaking some games. Rainbow Six Mobile, which, like, I know that there are mobile games out there that I know do very well that I just go, who is that for and who is playing that and what why are you talking about this right now? But apparently, that is gonna do some numbers. Who knows if it's enough numbers for Ubisoft, but and then Division Resurgence are all stuff that's supposed to be coming out. All those games are supposed to be coming out at some point. I think another Division would do okay. I think that would be pretty cool. But I just don't know about doing another goddamn doing a mobile game for Rainbow Six. But sure. You know what? Maybe it'll be fucking rad, and I'm just being silly about it. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Why not at least have a element of being positive, because you never fucking know. You just never know, friends. The game you scoff at could become a surprise hit or a banger, or is popular with people you've never met in your life, but they exist out there. I don't know. I mean, think about how fucking big Monster Hunter is. Like, yes, they did a great job of making Monster Hunter something that people finally worldwide could be like, oh, am I more of a sicko than I thought? Because I thought this game was just for sickos. Or the Japanese. But that has definitely grown and become a whole fucking thing. So it's certainly possible that games that I have kind of looked at as like, oh yeah, have been monster hits. What the fuck do I know? I'm just some guy. As I said on Blue Sky today, I sure have a lot of opinions for a guy that doesn't have a podcast. Which is a burn and a self-own. And I am aware of that. I am aware that I am burning myself when I say something like that. But it's also true. I don't know. It's very true that I am an incredibly opinionated guy, and my outlet for those opinions are a couple Discords I belong to, this, and the fact that I have various videos that I make where I talk about things that I want to talk about. Pat Bear's Anime Club is because I felt like I really wanted to talk about anime that I have been watching and enjoying. And I really wanted a way to do that. And I didn't have a good outlet for that, so I made one. Pat Bear's Wrestling Club, which I do want to do another video of. I don't know, probably June. Let's say June. Let's say there'll be another episode of Pat Bear's Wrestling Club in June. Before that, I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. But June, I could see myself doing one that month. Like maybe by the end of this month I'll want to make one, but I don't know, another one. But yeah, I mean, like my various things I did, man, I don't know if they're archived anywhere, and that's okay. It's fine if they're not. I did try a couple times to do podcasts. I did. I have done them did them in the past. I did an interview podcast where I would interview two people that maybe didn't seem to have a lot in common, but I would find commonality between the two of them and talk to them about stuff. That was very difficult because I had to constantly have guests that made sense in my head, and then I would have to schedule them to meet together because we would do those podcasts in person because the only alternative was to do it through Skype, and it sucked. And people were then, and continue to be now, but certainly then, very bad at figuring out how to get to do local recordings and to trust people to do local recordings. It's way better to do remote podcasts now, but when I was doing that, it was not easy and not good, and I didn't do well with it. So it had to be in person, and that was a nightmare because if one of the two people had something come up, then I had to reschedule it. It was hard. And then I just did a freeform podcast where it was mostly me talking and then occasionally interviews. And that podcast was easier to do, but then also did not get any traction, did not go anywhere. And then the service I was using to host suddenly was like, hey, we're going to up your rates. And I was like, okay, that's my cue to not do this anymore. Like one of my episodes had done oddly well, and they were like, okay, well, then we can't keep doing this. So I got rid of that. But I have done podcasts more, and not always. I'm often tempted to do one. I am tempted to do one again. Pat Bear's Anime Club is a offshoot of an idea to do an anime podcast. Pat Bear's Wrestling Club is because I want to do something with wrestling, talking about wrestling, so I did that, even though I haven't done much of it. It's still, the idea is there, mainly because I want to talk about wrestling, because I like wrestling. Weird, I know, but yeah, so far, I don't have a podcast. I've been guests on podcasts before. There was a brief moment where I was talking, this is years ago now, where I was talking with someone about doing a podcast with them. And we could not settle on an idea we both really loved. We had some we liked. And then I was told, actually, I'm going to start doing a podcast with somebody else because we found an idea. I've been spitballing with people, and we found an idea we're going to do. And I was like, that sounds great. We don't have a name for it yet, but we're still working on it. And I was like, that's awesome. If you need help coming up with a name, let me know. And they were like, I think we're just going to go with what we got. And that's Brad and Will Made a Tech Pod, because Will Smith and I were bouncing ideas off one another about doing a podcast together at one point when Will was desperate to do creative things. And wanted to do podcasting again because he missed it. And he was talking to Brad about it, and he was talking to me about it. And he ended up doing a podcast with Brad, which was great for him because my podcast with Will, none of the ideas that we came up with, I think, were ones that had staying power and would have been great. They would have been okay. But I don't think either of us were coming up with anything great. And the one we liked the most was like it wasn't a true crime, but it was like a small time crime. And I was like, yeah, this is fun. We can just find small time local crime stuff and talk about that. And I don't think that would have had legs. Like kind of a definitely not a Florida man like podcast, but something to the effect of that. And that was the one we liked the most, and I don't think we would have. I think we would have changed the podcast if we had started doing that. We never recorded anything, so we never actually did any work on it. It was all in the experimental stage, and I do regret that Will and I didn't start a podcast. I don't regret that we didn't start any of the podcast ideas we came up with, because I don't think we would have liked them long term. But I am bummed that Will and I didn't come up with a podcast we both wanted to do, because it would have been very fun if we had made a podcast together. Would have been real neat and real cool to say that we did that. But we didn't. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's fine. And Brad, he probably still would have made Brad and Will Made a Tech Pod. Because the very idea of Brad and Will doing a podcast together just makes so much fucking sense. Will was the guy that of the whiskey medias. Will was the guy most likely to want to be on the Bombcast and listen to the Bombcast. And Brad was the guy most wanting to be on This Is Only a Test, so much so that he listened to This Is Only a Test because he was interested. They both listened to each other's podcasts as they were happening. So obviously also Alex at Screamed certainly had an interest in what Giant Bomb was doing, but he was very busy at Giant Bomb. But yes, there was a conversations were had about Will and I doing something together, and we never fucking did. And we should have. The thing is, and this is not a thing that I said to him, but this is a thing that I thought at the time was, I wish that Will Smith liked anime or wrestling, because I would have started an anime podcast with Will or a wrestling podcast with Will in an instant. And he was not into either of those things and continues not to be into either of those things, which was a real shame, because if he had been interested in either of those things, we would have just done it. That would have just been what we did. But unfortunately, he was not into those. Oh, God, it would have been cool. It would have been very cool if he was. Sorry, I have to fix a thing here because I remembered just now that I didn't watch the latest episode of Catch Me at the Ballpark, but I will talk about that in the future. But I did watch another episode of Apocalypse Hotel, so I have to edit. I said I wasn't sure if I was going to keep watching Apocalypse Hotel, and then I went and watched the second episode of Apocalypse Hotel. So we'll talk about that in a bit. Now is the part of the stream where I want to talk to you about ways that you, friends, can support me and what I do here. Everything I'm about to tell you is optional. You're under no obligation to do any of these things. But if you would like to support me, you certainly can. And I'll go through them. I'll try to go through them pretty quickly because there's not a lot of you here, and a bunch of the people that are here right now are already subscribers, so you know. But if you are a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the tier 2 blue emote in chat, and let the people know that you are a subscriber and you got those cool emotes. Sorry, I'm fixing my chair here. You got those cool emotes. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money. So you can use your Prime Gaming token, you can use cash. If you want to gift a sub, you want to be like John and gift a sub, you could do that. We are currently at 28 subscribers. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up about how many subscribers I have when we hit 40. Would love it if you would come and hang out. Subscribe if you want to. Hang out here. Hit the follow button if you haven't already. You could be like Wintry Mix, which is a great fucking username. That is the person who's most recently followed me here. Let's see. So, obviously, subscribing through Twitch is the easiest way to do that. If you would like to support me through Patreon, that's an alternative. Patreon.com/PatBear. There is a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. Tomorrow, my $10 patrons will be able to vote on what I build next. So if you want to get in on that action, you could do that. Also, there's, other things for the tiers. Everyone who is a subscriber tomorrow will get my schedule before I send it out to other people. So you can check that out. You could also go to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBear. Over on YouTube, subscribing is free. You can subscribe, support me there for free if you want, but you could also become a member. And for just $2 a month, you could support me there, and that would be really fun. That's a thing you could do if you want to do that. You get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday, so you get a leg up on some other people. Those are all monthly ways to support me. If you would just like to throw $1 or $2 in the tip jar, you could always do that at my Ko-Fi or my PayPal, and you could do that directly if you wanted to. Everything I make through direct donations, through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And out of that fund, I pull money out to buy model kits and Lego sets and such. This kit that I'm working on right now, I was only able to purchase because of your generosity. Past you is helping out. Present me, if you want to help out future me, support me in one of those ways. Or you could always buy something from my Amazon wish list. Because I have a backlog of stuff that I'd be happy to work on, but if you buy something from my Amazon wish list, it jumps the queue and becomes the next thing that I build. You get a dedicated video about the thing you purchased to my YouTube channel. And then also, you get the satisfaction of knowing that I'm not working on another thing, I'm working on your thing. I got model kits and Lego sets. I got inexpensive things. I got expensive things. All kinds of different things and things that I'd be happy to build. If you see something on the wish list you'd like to see me put together, you could purchase it. And that would be neat. That would be great. I got all kinds of things. I've recently added some new model kits and some new Lego sets in there. A bunch of stuff that I would love to work on, including From the Gundam Seed Freedom movie, the Lightning Buster Gundam is something I would really love to work on because it just looks so fucking rad. I'd love to work on that kit. But yeah, a bunch of stuff. Also, the Gundam, the high-grade Atlas Gundam from Gundam Thunderbolt looks very cool and has very big weapons, which is fun. I like those. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that I would be happy to work on. I got a Lego Sonic the Hedgehog thing there with Metal Sonic. And that would be kind of fun to put together. A bunch of things and things. If you see something there you'd like to see me put together, you just pick it up and then I'll build it. That's how that goes. In addition to that Amazon wishlist, I have a wishlist on Throne because it's nice to have alternatives to Amazon. So see about that. See if there's something there you'd like to pick up for me. And then if you want to support me financially, but you want it to be complicated and annoying, well, go to USA Gundam Store. USA Gundam Store, you can buy a gift card. They will send you an email with a gift card code. Then you can send me a whisper here on Twitch or a DM on Twitter or Blue Sky or Mastodon with that gift card code. And then I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store. It won't be a pre-order. I did that once, and the pre-order kept getting delayed, and that wasn't fair. But if you want to do that, you can do that. If you want to support me but not spend any money, I have a Discord. We'd love to have you hang out in the Discord. It's very chill there. You're welcome to hang out there. A couple of video links for you to check out. The most recent episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club went up this week, and it is me talking about the worst reveals and twists in anime. It is this fucking video, more so than probably any other Pat Bear's Anime Club video, was cathartic. It was just me, like, it's me bitching about, like, major plot reveals in anime that is just like, fuck you, what are you doing? And then also, like, a character reveal that I think is fucking bullshit and dumb, and the anime was dumb for doing it. So I got to rant about 5 anime that I was just like, I don't like this. I don't like what's happening here. Spoilers abound. I say the name of the anime, so you can skip ahead if you want to skip ahead. I should put chapter markers in there. I haven't yet. I've written myself a note to put in chapter markers, so hopefully I will do that, because it'll take a while before YouTube does auto chapters on that video. So I should do that. I think that would be nice for people. But you know, you can check that out. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series all through the month of May. I am recommending anime from the 2000s. And a somewhat overlooked action anime from the 2000s is Black Lagoon. Black Lagoon has a fantastic dub. I don't really mention that in the video because I only have a minute to try to sell you on the anime. But it does have a really good dub. It's got a lot of heart. It's really silly and fun. I think you'll like it. It's bloody and gory and action-packed. Great characterization. Really surprisingly excellent supporting cast. And the main character sucks, but he gets better as the show goes on. He sucks for a reason, and then you get to see him like grow and change throughout the course of it. He's a whiny bitch, but he gets less of it. He still whines, but he's a bit less of a bitch by the end of it. So it's pretty great. You should check out Black Lagoon. Watch the 1-minute video. For whatever reason, this one did real well. It's for me. I thought you were gonna say Revy sucks. No, the character we were being introduced to it as the like fish out of water. He sucks. Revy rules. I wasn't saying that last part. Oh yeah, fuck, wow. Why did this do so well? It posted yesterday. It's only been up for a day, and it's got the most views of any of my... It's got 1,400 views. I posted it yesterday. It's the most viewed of my videos this year, of my shorts. Did better than Bureaucrat the Villainous. Dad's Been Reincarnated. It might be the best viewed one I've ever... Yeah, it is 1,400. Is this the... Because one of the things... I don't know, it just hit right. One of the things that sucks about... my shorts is they don't have a long shelf. They don't have a long tail. Okay, yeah. It is the best one I've ever done. It has the best views of any of my Pat Bear's Anime Club shorts. That is remarkable. Yeah, I have never done better than that. Holy shit. Yeah, crazy. Also, I should say that this episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club that I put up this week is doing good. It's doing good numbers for me. It's already had more views than my anime recommendations, which used to be my anime recommendation videos used to be my best performing anime club videos. Which is okay that it doesn't do as well. And then the isekai videos don't do as well as they used to, but that's okay. All right, so I'm going to talk about some anime, and then we'll get into some anime chat, and then we'll talk about gaming and some other stuff, and we'll chat with all you about those things. In order to talk about some anime, I first need to drink some water, because I'm in need of it, and we need to go back to the overhead camera, and we need to do that dramatically, which we will right now. All right, we're back. Now it's time to talk about this week's episode of Mobile Suit Gundam GQuuuuuX and also Apocalypse Hotel Episode 2. I will talk about Catch Me at the Ballpark probably this weekend. I'll probably do that along with, what do I normally talk about on Saturdays? Yeah, along with Rock as a Lady's Modesty and Once Upon a Witch's Death. I'll also talk about Catch Me at the Ballpark. I'll just talk about all three then, because I didn't get to it today, because that's normally Thursday afternoon is when I watch Catch Me at the Ballpark, and I didn't get to it today. I was busy. I had stuff going on. And by stuff going on, I mean I'm watching a lot of Eurovision. I'm watching a lot of semifinals of Eurovision. Some really good songs this year, and some songs that are only going to be in the grand final because of like they're grandfathered in, which some of which are not good. I'm looking at you, England. Oof! How did that just happen? Why am I listening to pop country from England? No, thank you. Anyway. Mobile Suit Gundam. There's some fucking shit in here. There was some stuff where I was like, I mean, we'll get to it, but some characters from Zeta are in this show. We got some fucking cyber new types in this in this place, and I was like, oh shit. Oh, I mean, okay, we're doing that, huh? All right. So. Put it on this side. Oh, you know what? I never did the other side of this. I just realized I have the pieces to do this, and I never did it. That's my fault. I messed up and never did this. It's pink on blue on the side that's blue, and pink on the side that's pink. That makes sense. I was like, why do I have these extra pieces? And it's because I didn't do this part. Really silly on my part, everybody. My apologies. Really goofed that up. There we go. All right, so we put this here. We put this like this. And then on the other side, we link it in place with this piece. I forgot the Federation did cyber new types first. Yes, the Federation started with cyber new types. But anyway, at the beginning of this, Amate and Nyan are having a falling out. And basically, Amate is just like pissed that in the previous episode that Nyan was piloting the GQuuuuuX, and it was like, what the fuck? You're like, no, I'm the special one. How are you being special? What's happening here? Wait, did I miss a piece? Did I also miss something here? I apparently missed some steps somewhere on this thing. So I gotta go back here. Put the sticker on. Put that on there. We did that one. We did that one. Okay, then I put the stickers on there. And then we build that thing. Yeah, we built that thing. Okay, we built that thing there. Yeah, and then it says jump to page 50. Which was here. Got this. Okay, yeah, so I did miss a step on here. This thing is like that. So I did miss a couple steps here. I figured I missed some steps. I was looking at pieces that I don't remember putting down because I didn't. So those go there. Yes, all right. I just jumped some steps. Okay, now I'm figuring this out. Everything's okay, everybody. I'm getting it. I'm figuring it out. These go on here like that. These go on like that. They're like bumpers. So then there's some armors getting delivered. Things are heating up in some various places here. Things are getting a little weird. Javier is getting warned that Zeon and Side 6 are all kind of freaked out because Lady Celia is coming and coming to Comet for a conference, and they're freaked out that the Supreme Commander, which is her brother, or the Federation themselves might interfere. So there's a lot of like shit's getting wild. Apparently, Javier is working for Celia. He's the mole. And then, you know, we don't have to worry about that kind of fuckery because there's other fuckery happening. Because the leader of the Pomeranians is brokering a deal to give back the GQuuuuuX and also give out the location of Suji and the Red Gundam. And it's just like, fuck off, man. What's happening here? But luckily, because there's a bounty out. So they're just like, hey, instead of winning Gundam fights, what if we just get fucking paid to be assholes? And so they're looking to do that. Amate overhears this, luckily, and it's just like, okay, I need to make up with Neon, and we need to fucking solve this problem. Okay, so put this here, and then this goes on top of this, like that. Okay. So she's like, all right, well, we got to solve this problem. So that way they can go warn Suji of what's going on. Meanwhile, Gates Kappa is fucking here. Gates Kappa from Neon, one of the Zeon, I should say, or Zeta, one of the cyber new types, and Dukes. They infiltrate Side 6 because they're there to assassinate the lady. They're going to assassinate her. There's a lot going on in this episode. And then Side 6 security forces try to kill Javier as like to show like Zeon, like we don't, you know, we mean business, motherfuckers. Let's see. Yes. But he is rescued, and then he's like, all right. He's rescued by the people that he has, you know, been lying to and with subterfuge. And he's like, well, what am I supposed to fucking do when the lady shows up and everything's gonna go to hell? Kaisala shows up. What am I supposed to do? So it's this. There weren't cool Gundam fights, but there was a lot of like intrigue and suspense and me trying to remember the events of Gundam Zeta. And does that matter at all? Kind of, no, but it's good to remember some of those things because shit's happening. And I was like, well, it's good to know that. I I don't know. I am starting to feel a little bit about this Gundam series the same way I feel about Lazarus, where I am enjoying the ride. And my description of Lazarus has been, it's only vibes, but the vibes are good, and that's kind of how I'm feeling about this. I'm kind of feeling vibes only, but I do like the vibes. I don't know. It's not hitting for me. I think the action is really good. I think the music is really good. I am still not sold on a lot of the designs, but I think that, like, in motion, they're still enjoyable. So, like, I can't talk too much shit about them, even if though I'm like, I don't know. I haven't been wowed outside of, like, the first couple episodes. The first couple episodes do wow me. But beyond that, I haven't felt... I've just been like, fine. Last week says the setup is dragging on quite a bit for a show that only has 6 more episodes. Yeah, because also, does it only have 6 more episodes? Or will it have part 2 or season 2? I don't know. There could be more of it. I mean, a lot of the mobile suits from this show aren't coming out until, like, October and November. And that doesn't mean... From what I've seen, it's confirmed 12 episodes. Yeah, but, like, I don't know. But, like I'm saying, so the mobile suit, most of the mobile suits from this show are not coming out until the show will have been off the air for months. So I was like, well, maybe there'll be a second season. I don't know. And it's totally possible that they're just, like, going to be late because that's the world we live in. But I don't know. I'll say this. I like it a lot. I don't know if I love it. And I want to love it. But I did go into that show a little worried. So I'm not like, not super like, I don't feel defeated or bummed if this is not like the new hotness. But to me, this past weekend, I watched the first episode of Apocalypse Hotel, about a hotel run by robots where after everyone on Earth left, all the humans on Earth left, and this hotel has just remained open, doing its thing. And, a lot of robots have gone into stasis and have died, and they've been kind of waiting for someone, because the owner was like, well, wait for me to come back. And maybe he shouldn't have said that, but he did, and so they've kind of been waiting for it. And then at the end of the first episode, an alien fucking showed up. And then the robots were, like, acting like it was a guest. Because they don't care that it's an alien. Somebody showed up and they want to know what's going on. So, Yachio, who is, like, the leader of this thing. Oh, I should also just say really quickly, the sticker for the control panel for this, I want to show this. Focus here. All right, focus on that. Can you focus? Oh man, I don't know if this is going to focus. There it is. The thing is a little controller, and it matches the button layout of the other stickers here. So this matches this layout, and I find that very cute and a great attention to detail. Sorry, I had to interrupt myself to say that because I thought that was fucking neat and cool. So Yachio greets the alien, but there's a language barrier. And they're like, well, this is our first guest in a millennia. We have to, or 100 years or something. We have to show, we have to, like, do a good job. And so they're going to do their fucking best to make this work, even though they can't understand each other. And that's, like, the gist of the episode. So over a couple days, apparently the alien is there for work. The alien is there to collect plant samples and is doing that. And it seems to be working well. And then the robots are, like, concerned because they're like, we don't know if this alien is enjoying its stay. Or, we don't know if our guest is having a good time. We can't tell. And that's kind of freaking them out. And then another robot. While this is happening, a new robot shows up, the environmental checker robot. And it is the last of its kind. And apparently, humanity they designed this robot to check the Earth, this style of robot, to check the Earth and to figure out if it was ever going to be inhabitable again. The environment. It was the environment checker, so that was the thing. But apparently it is the last one. And it's just like, yeah, so I detected that something landed here. It's that. Hey, do you want me to destroy it? Which feels like wild. That's a wild thing for the Earth environmental checker robot to want to do, but it's just like, yeah, I mean, like, I'll destroy it. And it's just like, is that part of your programming? What kind of, like, did the military make you? What's going on? But anyway, our head robot is just like, no, it's a guest, so please don't destroy it. And the environmental checker robot kind of gives them a big bit of information that says, the others like me from before, and I have been continuing to do this. We send messages out to space to humanity. They haven't answered me in many years. Like, I think they said like a couple decades. It's been a long time since anyone in humanity sent me a message back, which is like, oh, heavy. And kind of implying that maybe humanity, either the humans that went to space all died out, or they don't care about Earth anymore. So it's like one of those. Like they stopped caring about it. And that, for the second episode in a row, really fucking depresses Yakio. But she does remember, again, just like the last time she fell into despair, she remembers advice from the owner of the hotel to not get hung up on probabilities, but believe in possibilities, which is like, yeah, all right. And so the alien is done and goes to head out, and on the way out, hands Yakio a seed, some kind of seed from another world, definitely not from the human realm. And that's how episode 2 ends. And I gotta tell you, I fucking really like this show. Look, I was lied to when they were like, Pat, it's not as depressing as you think it would be by the title. Cause like, I don't know, it's cute, but also fucking heavy. There's a lot going on here. This is not a light romp, but it's really good. Really fun. And I believe from the previews that episode 3 has more aliens. And so I'm excited about whatever that's going to be. And yeah, I'll talk about episode 3 on Monday. Because yeah, I'm going to keep watching this fucking show. Because yeah, I'm really fucking into it. It's real good, y'all. It's real good. And that's my anime recaps. Like I said, on Saturday, I will talk about Catch Me at the Ballpark, because I really like that show and I missed out on watching the episode today. So I will endeavor to correct that error on my part, so we can talk about it on look at these cool things here. So we can talk about it on Saturday. We'll get into that. Now it's the part of the stream where I want to hear from you, friends. There's not many here tonight, but that's okay. If you got anything that you've been working on, you've been watching, you've been playing, if you're doing any building or enjoying anything out there that you want to chat with me about, feel free to let me know in the chat what you got going on, what you've been up to, and what you've been into. I always love hearing from people about those things and things, so please let me know if you'd like to. If you don't want to, if you just want to be laid back and not say anything like that, you can as well. But if you want to share, you can share, and I would love to hear it. For me, your friend Pat, I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. Why not? Yeah, we'll do that. I got into yesterday. I got to play some D&D. My D&D crew has been on hiatus for quite some time, but a couple people from that crew and a couple other friends got together for a one-shot. I did not have to run that one-shot, which was very good for me. I got to just sit back and enjoy. It was like 2 hours and really fun. We were testing a module that a friend is working on. So we had some pre-rolled characters and just had a good time. It was very fun. It was very laid back. I got my character sheet in advance so that I could study it, which was cool. And it was just like a chill, fun time. I had a really good time with it. I would love to play in that world a little bit more because it was very fun. I like studying. I like working on modules and having fun in that. So that was fun. And yeah, it was just a good time. I don't know, good vibes. We're hopefully. Hey, thank you very much, Dare. Dare raided with a party of 2. Welcome, Raiders. I'm Pat Baer. I build model kits and Lego sets. We're currently working on a Lego set here called the Lego DREAMZzz Cooper's Gaming Controller Jet. So this is the idea of like a fantasy in someone's dream of their controller becoming a cool jet. This is Cooper. He's got a fantasy chainsaw gun of some sort. It's Cooper. And this is some sort of creepy brain monster that he has to fight, I guess. I don't know. I've never seen a second of Lego DREAMZzz. But I was also, we're chatting about stuff we've been up to and we've been into. It's part of the stream where we just kind of casually chat about stuff that's going on. If people have been playing any video games or watching anything. I want to thank everybody that showed up on Tuesday for my stream. That was a really good time on Tuesday. I had a lot of fun. That stream was not archived. That was my Pat Watches Wrestling stream. It was a tribute to the recently retired Mako Satomura and the recently retired and unfortunately recently deceased Sabu. So we watched some Sabu matches. We watched some Mako Satomura matches. Originally, the intent was I'm just going to talk about these 2 recently retired wrestlers who have very different careers, but both very impactful careers. And then Sabu did pass away. So I was like, well, we'll also honor the life and times of Sabu, which was fun. It was a fun stream. I had a good time with it. That I have decided not to archive that anywhere because some of the matches that we showed there, I would just strip this video from the earth, crush this video forever. So I was like, well, that's not worth it to put it up there, just have it get ripped down. So didn't do that. But the stream itself was really fun. Had a good time. Oh, is this a weapon? We're building a weapon here. Okay. Put together a weapon. But yeah, that was a very fun stream. So that was cool. And doing prep for that was really fun. Let's see, other things going on with me. Hearthstone has a new mini set, so I picked that up, and I've been playing some Hearthstone, getting that mini set together. How do these go again? Okay, I know that this piece goes on here. I know this goes like this, and then this go like this. Okay, there we go. And now this thing will be able to shoot pellets. If I put pellets in here, it will shoot that. But yeah, what was I saying? Okay, that goes like that. Got it. All right, and then this is going to snap on here on the side. Oh, right here. Ooh, okay. Nice. Got a little weapon on this thing. And now we build the same thing, but opposite, so it goes on the other side. So we'll get that done here. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, so I'm playing Hearthstone. I got a new deck that I'm really enjoying. I got a few decks that hopefully I'll have some more stuff by the next time I stream it, which will be actually this coming Tuesday. Will be the next Hearthstone stream because I've got some stuff that I want to, some decks I want to show off and some new additions to decks. And then I just want to play some of my old favorites. I want to see if I can get the Porcupine deck to work with a new card. There's a new card in the Pokemon deck that's really good, and that card's probably going to get nerfed. Not for the deck I'm playing with it, but for a different deck that is just really, yeah. If you're playing Standard Hunter and you're playing the new the Crush deck, the Copy Crush deck, that deck I imagine will get nerfed. And the card that got made for it, hopefully the card that got made for it won't be the thing that gets nerfed, because that card is really great in the deck I'm playing. So my Porcupine deck really loves that card. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it won't get messed up to affect me, your friend Pat. But you know, I'm having fun with that. As I said, somebody reached out with a code for a video game that's coming out at the end of the beginning of next month, and then hopefully I am going to receive a code for that. I don't know. They reached out, but like, you know, sometimes they reach out to all their contacts and then they look at it and they go like, oh, actually, we're not going to send that to that person anymore. We should take them off our list. That kind of thing. It is a builder, but it is a cozy. They describe it as a cozy builder, and it's for the same publisher, Summer House and Gordlets, which we both have looked at before, both those games. But they have an embargo that hopefully, if their embargo is like early enough, I can play it at the end of May, and if it's later, then I can just play it in June. But the game comes out. Let me see here. What game does go on? Okay, no, the game launches on May 29th. So if the review embargo is like the 27th or earlier, then I can play it on the 27th. But if it's not, I don't want to break embargo and play it early. We'll see. I should probably just wait till June anyway, just in case they're like, oh, please don't play. They're like, you can review it by this date, but please don't play it before this date, which like is totally reasonable. And if that's their vibe, then that's their vibe. And I don't want to like do some shit that they don't like. But if I can play it on the on that week, then I will certainly do that, because it seems neat. Or we'll play more Nubby's Number Factory, because that game is awesome and I really had a blast playing that, so I wouldn't mind playing that a little bit more. All right, then we're working on this here. I still haven't decided if I'm going to take this apart to do the other thing or if we're just going to end it with this, but I think we probably will take it apart. We'll build the alternate version of it, because I think that's cool. Last week says, I watched the end of Andor, which was very good, and immediately went into Rogue One, which is a weird vibe mismatch. Rogue One has way more jokes. Been trying to play KOTOR 2 alongside AMCA, but yes, a more civilized age. I play, it's a podcast. But the more I play, the more unstable it becomes. Yes, that's KOTOR 2, my buddy. That's how that goes. Excited for the Capcom Fighting Collection 2 to unlock at the top of the hour. Hell yeah, enjoy that. I hope you have a real good time with that. I hope it's real fun and you have fun playing. I also might be getting a code for the Ninja Turtles Tactics game, which I did terrible at on stream, and so I probably wouldn't stream that because I'm not much of a tactics person anyway. But I do think it's neat, and I do want to support the fine folks working on it, because it's cool that they fucking that they're making it. That's just fucking neat and cool. So I would like to support them, but I was like, oof, I'm really bad at that kind of tactics game. It's just not. The vibes are bad with me in those games. So those kinds of games. So I don't know. I don't think I would stream it, but I will probably play it because it looks like I'm getting a code for it, which is cool. And I'll play it and I'll write a review. I mean, yeah, I'm getting a code, so I probably can't write a review, but. Or I write a review and it might not count for anything, that kind of thing. It's weird. It's understandable, but it's weird. All right, so this is going to go in here. You go like this. These are cool boosters coming out of this jet. And then these pieces here go in here, and then they can get shot at it. Whoops. Oh no. Well, that's fine. I found that nice and easy. Oh, it goes in sideways. That's what I was doing wrong. So these go in sideways like this. And then, okay, they go in sideways and then you press down and they shoot out. And that's pretty fun. That's pretty neat. I don't need those in there like that. All right, and that's it. Lord Crashton says, I've been playing some Graveyard Keeper that is a weird life sim isekai about a guy getting transported to a weird world where he's a graveyard keeper in a Middle Ages type world that is neat, chill, and a bit creepy as you carve up dead folks that are dropping off at your lab. That's a weird game idea. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Lord Crashington, that does sound weird as hell. I hope you're having fun with it. All right, so we are going to do the alternate version of this. We are going to do the, because we built the jet version, but we can also build the helicopter version. And you're like, Pat, but how are you going to remember what you need to take off? Well, we'll go backwards in order and take it apart. Hopefully the stickers won't be weird. But yeah, Lord Crashton, that sounds neat and weird. And yeah, that's cool. So I'm going to take a photo of this, and then we will disassemble it. I'll do memory of what I know. And like, basically, we have to go back to the controller. We have to get back to the controller part, and then also take off the parts that we don't need for there. But we'll see what got added to the controller. I think it's just this back part here is the only thing that really added controller, but we'll go back to like early on here. It's those parts, it's where they got connected. Anything where it says bag 2. Yeah, we just have to disconnect all the way from there. Yeah, okay. So bag 2, we got to go from there. All right, we'll do that. But I got to take a photo of this first, and then we can start the disassembly process to do the alternate version, which I never would because this thing looks fucking awesome, but I understand why you would want to. And then Saturday stream will be, I will complete this disassembly, and then Saturday we'll do the alternate version, and then I will start something new, because that definitely won't take an hour. Lord Christ says, I've also been playing Palia, which is free-to-play MMF life sim in a fantasy world that is fun, but a little buggy and messy in some ways. It just came out for PlayStation and Xbox. Yes, we have rated on occasion TQ, who has been playing that game for a while there. TQ was like she was in some weird program, like an ambassador program. She is no longer in that program, which sucks. And so I have but she still likes the game a lot. She's just not part of the like partner program anymore, which is a shame. Seemingly not her decision. All right, so let's put this alien thing in there, and let's get this photo of this here. All right, so that's built, and now we can do a little disassembly of this. I know we have to take these out. We need to take this off. And then we need to gotta disassemble this stuff. That's gonna be a little annoying to get off, but we can figure this out. Wedge this out. You know, this actually might be easier to take off from the top here. Take this piece off here. We basically have to get this back to this, and then these pieces come off, and those pieces come off, and we might end up putting them back on the other steps. But okay, great. So this is back to how it was before we built the other part. This is bag 1, and then we can fully disassemble bag 2 to then reassemble it as the cool new version. The alternate version here, which is this. This is the like Yeah, a helicopter, like a helicopter with a big weird body. Like this becomes like this here, and there's a helicopter on top of it. So it's going to be much taller than the previous thing. But we need to take this whole apart and knoll all these pieces, and we'll do that. And then if I don't finish that, I'll finish it up on my own so that we can just get right into building on Saturday, and we won't worry about other stuff. But I'll at the very least separate by color and separate the stuff using the handy dandy part separator. But yeah, Palia I thought looked neat, but I haven't really dived into it. Palia feels like this is the video game you play kind of a video game, and I'm not looking for that. I like my games that have my dailies and have the things that I like to do in them. I'm still playing I'm playing a match 3 game that I play every day, which is great on a bike. And I have Pokemon TCG that I check in every day and open packs and occasionally play a couple battles, but mostly just open packs. And try to win some stuff and unlock some things and get credits and do that. And that's a daily thing. That's while I'm on the exercise bike or while I'm walking. I went for a walk today and it fucking sucked, everybody. It sucked. It's so hot out there. The air conditioning is on in this house, which is great. Love that. Love that for all of us, that the air is on. That has been so nice to have the air conditioning because it was so hot today and it will be hot tomorrow. And it's fucking summer around these parts. God damn. We hit 82 degrees today, which was not fun since we're crashing. And yeah, we're also in the high 70s, low 80s. It just got real warm, and that's fine. But it was nice that, this part of being real warm is that the air can come on, because as you all know, because I always complain about it, I'm not cool about it. This room gets way hotter than any other room in the house. And all of these lights being on so that this space is not dark as hell. And also, even just during the day, I got 3 monitors running all day. And so that kicks up a lot of heat. What I like to do these days now, especially when we didn't have the air on, a thing I like to do is, because it's not going to get cooler at night or anything, is I shut down my computer completely. I don't put it to sleep. I shut it down completely. And then I open up the door, and then I go out into the kitchen and like find something to do and let my room cool off before I go to bed. And I find by doing that, I can go fall asleep if it's warm. That has been my saving grace in this. But now we have the air on, and that's going to be real nice because it'll cool off in here real easy, especially if I open the door. But I have to keep the door closed because I'm talking late at night, and I'd be waking people up if I wasn't courteous. There was one time that I forgot to close my door, and because my parents were out, and I had the door open while I was doing other things, and it was like frustrating for them to have me, suddenly here talking while they were out there. Because my voice, hey, I don't know if you recognize this or not, but my voice carries. I have a loud voice, and it's booming, and it moves around. And it's not great for people sometimes to hear that are trying to do other things. It is what it is. Is this connected? Yeah, these are connected. This is not. Yeah, these are connected to that. I was like, can I pull these off? Actually, maybe they're not. I don't remember. I can look and go back here and see if these things were connected to anything. Back to this page. All the way back, folks. All the way back to this. Yes, these are connected to something. All right, so I don't know how I'm going to get these separated then. I can pop it in there and then... Yeah. Tweezers. It's been in the hundreds. We broke some records. God damn, Lashbrook, that's high for May. I am sorry to hear that you have been dealing with that. Oh, what if I do it like this? I don't know how I'm going to get this out. I might not need it. I mean, these things are going to be on top. So I'm going to deal with this on my own time. And in fact, I'll finish disassembling this on my own time anyway, because we are now at the end of the stream. So that this is a future Pat issue. Finishing the disassembly of this is a thing that Pat's going to be doing in the future, and not present Pat. Present Pat doesn't have to worry about that at all. I want to thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I hope you had a good time. I had a great time. It was a very chill Thursday evening. Hopefully some more folks will join us this weekend for good times. But I wasn't unhappy with doing this, and I hope you enjoyed it and had a good time. We are going to raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We're going to go find someone doing cool stuff and spend some time with them. So I hope you come along on this raid. Who are we going to raid tonight? I don't know. We don't have a lot of folks with us tonight, which is okay, again. But I do want to go and share some love here. Let's see. Who's doing things on a thing like this? My friend P2 is online. P2 is doing stuff. P2 has been playing through No More Heroes 2, Desperate Struggle. I love that P2 is going through the No More Heroes games. That's very fun. P2 is great. A very fun VTuber. And so we're going to go raid P2 and go hang out with P2. I hope you come along on this raid. I hope you will come back on Saturday, where I will talk about anime and video games, and I will finish up this Lego thing, and then I will start something new, and we'll have a vote on it. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you soon. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.